In this question, we're told a group of 100 students are asked if they like folk music, rock music, or soul music. All of the students who like folk music also like rock music. No students like both rock music and soul music. With these two statements alone, I should be able to make a Venn diagram that matches them. And I know in part A, I'm being asked to produce a Venn diagram. So let's see what this will look like. So let's just make a set. So this oval is going to represent rock music, and inside we are going to have folk music. The statement said all students who like folk music also like rock music. So all of the folk lovers, all of the folk likers are inside the set for rock. The next statement said no students like both rock music and soul music. I'm going to put soul music out here away from the others. Okay, if you didn't catch that in the context of the question, you may have made a standard Venn diagram just like this. And I'll show you both cases how you would populate the Venn diagram with the information that we're given. Okay, let's just label each of these sets: rock, folk, soul, rock, folk, soul. So, all students who like folk music also like rock music. On the left, because I've taken that into account, there isn't anything to do. I've put that into the design of the Venn diagram. On the right-hand side, however, all students who like folk music also like rock music, means there cannot be any people who like folk music outside of the rock set. So these two must be zeros. There are no people who like folk music that do not like rock music. Next, we're told that no students like both rock music and soul music. I've dealt with this on the left-hand side by drawing that set separate to the rock music, making sure there is no overlap between rock and soul. If you've got the diagram on the right, you're going to need to put zeros into the overlap to show that nothing exists in that space. Okay, so just being careful, which diagram do you choose? If you put it into the design of the diagram, you don't really need to fill in all of these zeros. If you go for the standard diagram, be very careful where the zeros go. Place the zeros where you know there are no members to that region. Okay, let's carry on. 75 students do not like soul music. Well, that means that out of the 100, 25 do like soul music. So using the complementary statement, I can fill that in. 12 students who like rock music do not like folk music. So I'm going to look for the rock set and make sure that I'm putting it outside of the folk set. So 12 like rock but do not like the folk music. Lastly, we're told there are 30 students who like folk music. So 30 can just slot in there. Okay, Venn diagram is almost complete. Right at the beginning, we were told that there were 100 students. Have we represented all 100 students? A quick count lets me know that we have 67 students represented so far. So that means there must be 33 who didn't like any of these music selections. Now the Venn diagram is complete. As I've always told you, make sure that you have a rectangle around your Venn diagram. I started with the rectangle. Most people are ending with a rectangle around that diagram to make sure you get all of your marks. In part B, we're asked to state two types of music that are mutually exclusive. The mutually exclusive events are any events that do not have an intersection, any events that do not have an overlap. And in the diagram on the left, we drew it like this on purpose. We ensured that we can visually see straight away there is no intercept or overlap between folk music and soul music, between rock music and soul music. The diagram on the right is a little harder to see, but we're looking for any groups which have zeros in the intersection. So once again, the same, rock and soul, soul and folk, they have zeros in the intersection. You only need one group to get your mark. So folk and soul is what I've put down. In part C, we're asked to find the probability that a randomly chosen student does not like folk music, rock music, or soul music. So they don't like any of these. And once again, we dealt with this in our good Venn diagram design. We found that there are 33 students who don't like any of these. So the probability a student likes none of these music options, 33 out of the 100. Part D, what is the probability a student likes rock music? Well, in there we know that we have 42. 42 out of 100. And finally, what's the probability a student likes folk music or soul music? So we're going to look for anyone in the folk set and anyone in the soul set, and we're going to combine them. So this becomes 55 out of 100. Taking your time with the diagram in the very first instance would help you to flow through a question like this really quickly. So using the context of the question as we're given it in the first instance to make sure that we produced a good diagram that represents all of these sets and all of these probabilities.